Hello, I'm Jerry McGovern, JLR Chief Creative Officer. We at JLR are on a transformational journey towards modern luxury. Pivotal to this is the formation of the House of Brands: Range Rover, Defender, Discovery and Jaguar. My role, together with my creative team, is to define the creative vision for these unique British brands. What that means is the design of our products to the creation of the brand worlds they sit within. One of the key elements of our brand worlds is the customer experience within our retail environments. This project in Hanoi was a unique opportunity to bring our vision for modern luxury to life. In fact, that was a brief given to James and the team. Create an environment that captured the imagination and creativity congruent with our modernist design philosophy, already embedded within the DNA of our highly desirable products.
Hello, my name's James Hagger. I'm Retail Design Director for JLR. It's been a real privilege to work on the Hanoi pilot site. It was a great opportunity to start exploring new modern luxury approach and also to a way of manifesting our new House of Brands retail philosophy. As a site, it was a really fantastic opportunity to do something fairly significant. We had the chance of really remodeling an existing building. Our initial concept was really to make the outside flow into the inside and vice versa, so it became almost one space, that we broke down the barrier between inside and out. Part of the thinking around that was to create this idea of a sculpture part where we presented cars outside of the building but treating them like pieces of art, and that philosophy really followed through the whole building. So we're treating them like pieces of sculpture and displaying them because they're precious and they're beautiful objects. So the idea was that the sculpture part would flow, and a way of achieving that was to create this ripple idea. So it was almost like in the middle of the showroom we dropped a pebble into water, and those ripples echoed out from the inside outside. And that did two things. First of all, it starts to link the inside and the outside, so that theme follows through. And also it gives you this idea of rotation. And in any retail space, customers have a flow. There's a way you can guide them around the experience. So part of that was to create this rotation. First of all, to put the customer at the center, and then creating this rotation, this flow around the space. And within that flow, we created two of our key brand pavilions, one being Defender and one being Range Rover. So the look and feel for those two brands was really dialed up to become these visual anchor points within the space. They sit below a newly formed mezzanine space. And the idea with the mezzanine was to really follow through on that idea of the ripple. So the ripples are not just in the floor, they're three-dimensional. It happens sort of in space as well. And so the mezzanine wraps around the space, and it's almost like arms enfolding. It's always really important in any retail space, if you want to activate another layer, another level, you have to create something that is inviting. Just putting a staircase in to give access is not going to do it. So you need to create excitement with the act of moving between spaces. So the idea was that we create this large sculptural staircase, this spiral staircase, and that was a visual focal point in its own right. And that's a way of encouraging people to move upstairs and to use that space, because we've got really exciting things happening up there. We've got our whole colour and trim offer. We've got another hospitality lounge as well. Because the approach was thinking like it's a cross between a boutique hotel and an art gallery, because we're showing sculpture in the space. And so part of the reason was we've got a very sophisticated lighting system in there that really highlights the car. So we're not creating this blanket wash of illumination. We are lighting these vehicles as objects of beauty. And part of that whole idea of creating the mezzanine is to give the opportunity to look down on the vehicles, to see them from almost every angle. So wherever you move through the space, you're seeing vehicles in the perfect aspect, and that's what we've tried to do. So curating the whole space, the whole experience, I think is really important. Sort of this idea of a welcome hall, this lane where clients can drive straight in step out of the car and they're immersed immediately into the luxury experience. So whether they're coming to get a window wiper changed or they're coming to buy a top of the line Range Rover, that experience is always a luxury experience. No matter who you are and what you're there for, you're experiencing this whole idea of luxury, and you're immersed in it from the moment you cross the threshold.
Ultimately, our desire is to create truly emotionally engaging experiences and build long-term relationships with our clients, which in turn will create increased equity and value for our brands. Brands create dreams, not just products. Thanks for your time.